What's up, and welcome to NCP something. I think this is actually I did the numbers, and this is episode 21, which is pretty crazy if you count the historic NCP, the legacy NCP. So I think that means we're 15 episodes deep into sort of SPL recap, which is pretty sick actually. I don't think we've quite caught crossed talking carball territory. I think we were 30 deep in that, Colin. Is that right? Sounds right.
We were in TCV for a while.
Yeah. Either way, we're getting close, which is cool. But no shocker, I'm joined by Colin in Hamilton. Colin, how are you doing today?
I could be doing better, and more specifically, my team could be doing better. And I think I speak for all of us on there.
Hey man, Ham, how are you doing?
I've got to win. Feeling the best probably of everyone in here. My loss is to my brother, who I brought in and taught everything he knows, but that's not important. Um, Feeling on top of the world. We get Jake this week.
I mean, Jake is looking dangerous, so
No, no,
these
no.
are these are our standings after
You
week.
can't see me. You got to scroll down a little bit. I'm all the way at the bottom.
Wait, let me zoom out a
Hey,
little bit. Oh yeah, there we go. Just gotta adjust. Don't worry. If MLS was up top, I'd be down there too. Look at this. This is freaking gross. I actually make you look. Uh, okay.
We have the same goal
They're really.
differential.
You have a point. You have a point.
I have a point. Thanks, Ham.
Ham, do you think
you're welcome.
either of us are on pace to have a worse season than you?
Last year,
Yeah.
Last year? No. um, and the stat that truly blows my mind is it Adam that has. Sorry, I'm not staring at the website, which I should have been.
can you look at
Adam
the screen
has
too?
the did and Peach, I think. And he's got a win. Don't know how that happened. Could have been against anybody, but
He's got the did and Daisy.
Okay. But he's got a win, which I don't know how he's pulled off that, but
It's
that
Colin's
means I
fault.
think
The did is correct.
Colin gave the
oh,
did blueprint, and Adam
yes,
somehow
yes, yes.
found it.
Um, but I do think that means that I will go down as possibly the worst season in SPL history. I'm excited to own that title.
I mean, we'll see. I am at 0 points. I am doing at least as bad as you were.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and get into results. We actually have 2 weeks to run through real quick. Speaking of Colin saying that he lost a point courtesy of someone else in this podcast, that was our debut game of this season. An absolute power matchup of PD versus Bowser. Um, Colin, how are you feeling about this series as a whole? I know you trotted out a pretty strong roster.
I trotted out a good roster. I was scared about Hamilton's. I think in this, wasn't feeling too bad after this game because Hamilton's roster is great. We won on Vanilla, which I think was my pick, which I felt pretty good at. I just haven't seen the PD that I know is in there. He only has 7 goals in 5 games, which I guess isn't that bad, but we need some. My team's not putting the ball in the net.
Yeah. And especially to win against Bowser, you're going to have to do that a whole lot. One thing that was kind of interested is Colin, you kind of ran out there with a sort of season one meta comp. And Hamilton is literally just doing Danny impersonation at this point. Hamilton, are you fully bought into sort of the shooting sidekick extravaganza?
I think this week, after playing Reed, and I think I made the comment that I don't have anyone who could pass the ball. Um, I think that passing is still important, but I don't think speed is as important in this dichotomy. I think
I
that's the
think
right
I
word.
think that's fair. I mean, I think passing also can compensate for speed.
Yeah,
but we are a far cry away from the Toad Boo renaissance of season one.
Yeah.
Um, but this was a pretty close series. I think it went all the way to three. Um, and Hamilton got a pretty comfortable win in game three. But not a result that I can imagine you felt terrible about, Colin.
No, that result wasn't too bad.
Well, the next series I think was, at least for the MLS games, series of the week. This one was an absolute banger. Every single, well, not every single game. There were only two games, but they were both one goal games with tons of goals, including that just like insane shot right there. It was just going back and forth. And speaking of passing, this Dave lineup that lost, so I don't really know why I'm hyping it up that much, was nasty to watch. They had four passing players, except they could actually shoot. So it's kind of like his season one team, but reborn in a cool way. Um, Ham, how are you feeling about Dave's team?
I'm gonna question if you're gonna count Shy Guy as a passing player here, because I'm pretty sure he's balanced.
He's not
But
on Dave's team. Dave is Bowser
that
Jr.
I swear Bowser Jr. is wearing a yellow shell right here, but all right. Um, I see that it's red. I hear you, but I think the colors needed to be more distinct. Um, I see now. I see now. I think I think that's a dangerous lineup. I mean, you get a bunch of passes, as you said, and two people who can shoot pretty well. I'm curious to see how they do. Losing to Garrett helps me, I think, because Garrett lost next week. But I don't think anybody is out of it by any stretch of the imagination in MLS or in SPL. I mean, we're 2 weeks in.
We'll see when we get to SPL. There may be one team that's out of it if you look at the season as a whole. Uh, but yeah, no, Dave's certainly not out after getting this loss, and we'll get into week two and talk to Colin more about that. But next series was oh, we missed one. The actual debut of season three of Strikers was Jake versus Reed. The Rook versus the Soft, and the Soft is he's looking pretty strong. I think there were some people that were a little bit surprised that Reed wanted to come back to Strikers, but he's coming back with a vengeance, and he got the win here. Hamilton, have you heard anything from the Reed camp?
We have. I was really excited to get this question. Um, I've been talking to Reed a little more because fantasy football season's ramping up, and we co-manage a team, which is electric. But I FaceTimed him the other day, and he's like, "You're interrupting my film session." He was actually watching the VOD back, um, right before the week two games. So I assume he'll be doing something similar before week three. Um, I thought his pick of Yoshi was a bad pick, considering I was picking after him, and it gave me Bowser. But he kind of shut my mouth right up in week two when he beat me in 2 games. So I think he's paying attention. I think he's locked in, and I think he's gonna do some things.
Yep, and he got two wins to start off the season. I do want to ask, what are your guys' thoughts on his roster that he will have to run in week three? He has no choice to run Toad, Monty, and Shy Guy. Colin, what are your thoughts on that team?
Um, hold on, I mean, did Toad Monty Shy Guy? Well, it's not the tried and true did roster, which means it's probably gonna do terrible. There's one Diddy roster that has had success, and every other roster that has not really gotten a whole lot done. That Monty's gonna have to carry the load with scoring. But they'll probably move the ball around pretty well.
Yeah, and we won't get too far ahead of ourselves into Preds, but he'll be playing against Dave, and Dave pretty much has a singular set lineup too. So it's kind of cool. We're at the season where stamina is really starting to dictate things. But solid win for Reed to start off. This series went to three, so not bad for Jake. And little bit of foreshadowing, but he carried that momentum into week 2 in a way I think people did not predict. But that brought us to our SPL fixtures for week 1. This series didn't happen. Next one was
don't
Danvers. Siri,
don't
shut up.
don't take away my Diddy team.
Hey, dude, they worked it.
Glory to the kid.
Game 1 was close, and then game 2 I got blown out on Thunder Island, which I was very skeptical about taking the did to this matchup really was Colin v Colin, because I was scared to take the did to an elimination map on Thunder Island, but then I remembered how well Colin did on Thunder Island in season 1. And in the end I got played. And Adam obviously watched the VOD hard, was very aware when I talked to him about it. Definitely not completely shocked, and had already given up on his team. But huge result for them to even deny me getting a point. That very well could decide things coming down the line. Next series, kind of funny, because this is the first time we got to see someone resting their A team, which is definitely a season 3 concept. But Jacob rested both Yoshi and Mr. Monty. And I think honestly too, his dry bones too. He ran the B team out there. And they kind of got slapped. One interesting thing from this series was the pure dichotomy between DK and tier 1, tier 2. Colin, real quick, could you pull up like the DK stats just between Jacob versus Garrett's DK? Because I'm pretty sure it's absurd.
Donkey Kong, Jacob's Donkey Kong, 2 games, 0 goals. And then Garrett's Donkey Kong has 2 games, 4 goals.
Yeah, so insane. And I'm sure like Impact and Strikers Index look even worse there. Which I mean, Strikers
6.5 to minus 5.6 in Impact.
Gotta be one of the biggest flips we've ever seen. But the B team got worked, which is kind of, Jacob was obviously cool with that because he was playing against Danny, who does look scary once again, Mr. Draft Luck at this point. Final series, which I guess we should also be referencing what we did in terms of Preds at least a little bit. Final series was the one that we debated in detail on the pod about whether or not Freddy would freaking play Waluigi or not. He did. He got bodied. It was not close.
How does he say message received and then still play Waluigi?
I think he was receiving the message to try and prove a point, which we'll get into week 2. But Bowser Jr. really made this decision look even worse. So maybe Freddy can use hindsight to say that he tanked intentionally to rest lineup. How's it feeling watching Eric's PD put stuff down while yours is floundering, Colin?
His PD seems to be more willing to shoot mud everywhere than my PD is. But the PDs went 0-2 again, not to go ahead to next week. But the PDs are 0-2 versus Bowser already this season, so we're gonna need to find a roster to take down the turtle.
Fire beats plant,
which is a nice and fine segue into the game you played against Dave in week 2, where PD did not get the dub.
Mario was farting up a storm, and PD was just sitting there.
One interesting storyline is in the past, we've had the great debate of how different our clones like Mario and Luigi did and Peach. Now we have the debate between true clones, the tier 1 and tier 2 counterparts. So it's going to be interesting to see if statistical divides. What's the divide between Eric's and yours in terms of goals and impact?
Let's see, player stats, goals. Eric's has 7 goals in 5 games. Mine has 7 goals in 5 games. Mine has an impact of minus 0.6, has an impact of 1.8.
Okay. So nothing even touching DK.
No, goal performance wise is actually pretty on par with each other. And even mega strikes I think is pretty similar. 3 to 4. I actually have more mega strikes. So maybe I'm on PD too much. Maybe I got to look at the coach and look at the rest of the roster and try to find a lineup that's gonna get the sidekicks more involved.
Yeah, I got a trade offer for Wario this week, and while I haven't been excited about what he's done on the field, in terms of results, I did a little statistical digging and found the same thing where the problem isn't really him, it's everyone else. I don't really know what the hell to do. But yeah, Dave got the dub, and this Dave team is so scary, man. To have a Bowser Jr. Wario rotation is it's just frightening. But we went to the very first Battle of the Bros, um, in SPL or MLS history. Um, how did it feel watching your protege put in work, Hamilton?
Um, a little bittersweet. It's cool to see him succeeding. However, I wish he would have done it against someone else. Um, yeah,
Which I
and
do not understand how this team that he ran out there looked good. Like we're looking at double Monty, Dry Bones, and Yoshi.
I think we made a comment while the pod was live. I didn't have any true passers out there this week. Um, but I had two balanced sidekicks out there, which I thought would maybe suffice. And then we looked at Reed's roster, and there's not a single passer out there, and yet I felt like they were moving the ball so much better. Bowser's Flames this week also felt a bit off. I don't feel like the Mega Strikes were as abundant as they usually are, but I mean, it was not a blowout, is all I can say. And so I have faith moving forward. I don't think this is my true A roster as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which based off preseason, I don't think any of us would say you need to be putting out your A roster against Reed because his team looked a little bit sus, but
Yeah,
it's getting to the point where he needs to be slowed down,
yeah.
and he's looking primed. I don't know how many wins will get you top three locked, but getting 2 of 2 off the start is it's big for
Yeah.
momentum. Um, okay. This is I was talking to Colin and Hamilton about this series because neither of them could remember what happened, and this will probably be burned into Garrett's brain for the rest of history and time. So, you know, Jake and Terio's disciples pushed it to game 3, which was already more than most people thought. And Waluigi goes here and is in a great
Oh, I
position with
forgot
his
about
wall
this.
to probably get, like really like Hammer Bro. Let's break this down with the telestrator. Hammer Bro's, right here. Realistically, he's already slow. He has to go around the wall through the sand. Waluigi could get 12 if he wanted to. Hamilton, how many what kind of mega strike do you think Waluigi pulls out here?
Oh, I remember now. Do you want me to say what it actually is?
You can.
It's 3 in the gray somehow, which I didn't think was an option.
You overcooked it. You overcooked it.
And Hamilton, do you remember how many he gets off 3
I
in the
believe
gay in a map 3?
3 in the what? I believe it's 0.
Oh, let's
It is
watch and find
2. He
out.
scores 2.
We're going to even slower motion. 1.
There's one.
Okay, 1's got to be a
Like said,
miracle. No way.
it knocks the keeper back into the goal. The power on that 3 in the gray.
If you're an audio listener and you're on Spotify, hit switch to video right there and rewatch back the last 20 seconds. What's also the most incredible thing is just by default, this was what the AI selected as the thumbnail, which is incredible. This is literally the moment of him going to Mega Strike on 3 in the gray and nailing 2. Somehow the sentient SPL characters are talking to Google AI and creating the best thumbnails possible. But to be honest, that's all that you really need to know about that series. Jake got the win. I don't know how many wins people were thinking that he'd get, but I think Double Birdo is looking all right so far, and he is, I believe, in second place
Uh,
with what I probably
yeah,
considered to
second
be
place.
the worst possible draft that you could have had. But what the hell do I know? Next game was Come On, Mr. Monty versus Flying Dutchman. Really not the team that I think Adam is going to be banking on for results. I don't know if he'll ever actually intentionally play the goated Diddy team. But this wasn't it. But there was we have never seen 2 goals on the gray uh, for a mega strike. We also had never ever seen 100% mega strike, and we got to witness that here as well.
Like 4 shots get blocked by Thwomp
I don't think you guys
It's
can
here.
hear the audio, but I do want to
with that
say
big crystal
I
smash.
very seriously said 4 for 4 right as
He
she went
did.
into the
He
game.
absolutely did. Can
He
confirm.
did.
But even then, Adam was not able to get it done. That was pretty much the only time that he looked like a threat of winning any game. Real quick, Hamilton, pop quiz. Who do you think are the top 3 goal scoring captains in SPL right now?
Oh no. In SPL,
Yep,
not MLS. Okay.
SPL.
I'm gonna say Bowser, PD, and Daisy.
So you did get the third one right, which was the poll. Purely based off only that mega strike. She did not score a single goal the rest of the series, but purely just from that 4-goal mega strike, she is third place in goals per game. Number 2 is Petey. Number 1 is Bowser Jr. at 3 goals per game, which is more than double anyone else in SPL. For some reason,
Also,
just
if you
in general, MLS is having more goals, especially from captains. The statistics there look way better. But for for tier 1, it's Bowser Jr. by a fine margin. And for some unknown reason, his manager decided to play Waluigi in week 1.
also just a shout out, you skipped you were only looking at captains. You missed the true second most goals per game in the SPL, which is Markley, Monty Mole 2.
On what team?
Danny's team. Danny's Monty. Or one of Danny's Monty's. 3 goals in 2 games.
But it doesn't even really matter what team and what Monty it is because in general, Monties in SPL are
Monty's are
going
ripping.
insane. Every single Monty except one is at over 1 goal a game, which from a
They all
sidekick
have at
is
least 2
insane.
goals. Yeah.
But the MLS Monties are not doing anything of the sort. The only 2 Monties have played were the double Monties for Reed, and they both are at 0.3 goals per game. But yeah, no, Monties are going insane, especially Danny's Monty deserves some credit. Um, I already pulled up the next series, so it's been running in the background. But Freddy and I played a pretty exciting series. It was really sad. Um, I will say that Freddy very graciously was willing to accept a 3-goal mega strike on 5 in the green. So really disrespect to his modesty and humility there. Um, but yeah, it was a good series. I really suck and I don't understand why. But Colin, you can relate.
Yeah, we got some work to do. But thankfully, I'm trotting out Daisy versus a likely DK team this week. So things are looking up.
Yeah, now is the time for momentum to shift. Um, final series is probably, I want to say, series of the week for SPL. Based off the other games we just watched, I'd say definitely. But PD versus Bowser, always a classic. Um, Danny with was this double? No, just I think next week we see the double Monties from Danny, which will be exciting. But um, and I think Bowser goes to like 8-0 or 9-0 all time with Danny. It's just gross. Um, do we think that Danny's gonna win season two? Hamilton, I'll let you answer first.
I struggle because I think that the only thing holding him back is his second tier roster, and I don't think that that's gonna matter come playoffs. And I think he's gonna make playoffs.
Especially if he gets the first spot, then
Yeah,
he's fine. Um, and he is the only undefeated team. Colin, do you
yeah.
think we're gonna see the first ever two Pete?
It's certainly possible.
He just looks so damn good. Like he's kind of got like this untouchable aura about him right now.
I got distracted. I just realized that the lines on these two charts aren't in line with each other, and it really bothers me. So I'm gonna need to fix that after this.
Gotcha. Well, that actually kind of works as a segue, because our next segment we're gonna basically rank where we think that teams are gonna finish at the end of the season with all the data in the world that we have right now. So this is not a tier list. This is hardly even a power rankings. This is our predicting the entire season for MLS and SPL. So we'll go ahead and start with MLS. You know, we are an MLS dominant podcast. Likely soon to be an entirely MLS podcast, possibly.
Well, not if I get kicked out by getting last.
Yeah. We'll see. You'll just have to spend all of your time trying to figure out how the hell we code contracts into this podcast. But
It's gonna be so fun.
um trying to think of a way to make this less confusing. Why don't
You have a way to just do color? Because I have colors assigned to everyone. Is there a way you can just do colors
like
or
rank
just names? Or just do it in Excel and just type names.
that's actually probably that's way better.
Yeah.
Um Going on the pred sheets. Little quick update on the golden picker. We forgot to pick last week, but week one did not go well. I'm at 2 of 6. Ham's at 2 of 6. Colin did all right, 4 of 6. And for guarantees, we went 1 of 3 and missed on our only absolute guarantee. Don't know who messed that up. Um,
I'd like to state that Colin and I both tipping the hat to the other person. I think should go the other way. We should both be 3 of 6.
Where do you want this, Austin?
what?
There.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. So I guess we'll just go through, and each person can place someone, and then
Yeah.
we'll just do the same thing. So I'll go first with who I think is gonna get 6th place in in the MLS. Um, Kind of a hot take, I guess. At this point, I still do think it's gonna be Terrio's disciples. um, I think the fact that he still is gonna have to run um his peach roster out there a couple times. Like that's not going to be avoidable, and I don't know if Waluigi continued to do what he did. So I do not have faith. I don't know if Jake will become a podcast listener yet, but unfortunately, being a listener does not save you from criticism. So I got Terra's Disciples in 6th. Him, who do you think's getting 5th?
What's this order?
Alphabetical?
uh,
Did I say Hamilton?
C before H.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay, well I'm sticking with it. It's reverse
No, he's gonna
alphabetical,
get
but I started with
fifth.
A.
Okay.
Good. I don't have to be the middle.
Do I have to go in order? Is that what we just decided?
No,
I had a really good.
you can place them wherever. That's cool with me.
Okay. Can I get Reed Hot Chili Pipers or Strikers in third, which I think is also a decently hot take. Um, I think his second team's gonna cool him off a little bit.
That is a pretty hot take based off the start of the season they had, but I don't think is completely unfair for the critique that you gave, Colin.
I would like to put Dave's team, which is Toad and the Bros, at the 1.
You think they're finishing number 1?
I think they're going up.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find a strong argument against that. Do you think is your impression that this is going to be a season of depth?
It's a season of depth, especially for the 1. I think when it comes to 2 and 3, if you can get third with a good A team, you have a good chance of winning the playoff. But when it comes to getting the 1 seed, running out Bowser Jr. and Wario every other week is just a recipe for success.
Yeah, and there's literally sometimes like there's literally no dip. Like this week he has no choice. Like some other people, his hands are tied in terms of like his sidekicks are lined up, but no matter what, he has Bowser Jr. or Wario.
Yeah,
It's just absurd. So I think that's fair. I'm gonna slide Hamilton into the 2 spot. I think he has
there.
a very good combination of depth and peak between Mario and Bowser, and a solid sidekick lineup. Do you have double DB? No, just single.
No, I do.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, team's good. A manager who has been through the highs and lows of SPL, but never forget that he did coach DK to a top 3 in season 1, and was the I was gonna make a reference to a certain Spanish explorer, but he was the cultivator of triple DB, which ultimately won Freddy the championship.
The Leaf Erickson.
I don't really want to dig into his history. Hamilton, who do you want to place in 4 and 5?
I'm sorry, Colin, but I'm gonna put
Yeah.
Colin in 5.
Yes. Yes. Put me in 6.
Um, I think that his team is solid, but I don't know that it's more solid than Garrett. With the double Hammer Bros on Garrett's team scares me. Granted, the double Dry Bones on Colin's team also scares me. But I just think that Garrett has the ability to get more wins. Simply put, that's what matters.
That's fair. We'll see. We'll see what Daisy does this week.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Not a bad lineup to have with Daisy. So we'll
No.
see.
Yeah. It's a lot of
I've tried
defense
a
on the
couple
board.
though.
It's a lot of defense on my team.
And you play against. Oh, they
I
play.
play
Well,
Garrett.
this is a good litmus test. But Garrett has full choice of captains. So
Yeah.
Colin, who would you like to place in 4th?
Um, I think I'm gonna put Garrett in 4th.
Yeah, fair. I think that's a very reasonable place where I probably would have put Garrett at the start of the season. Except I probably would have had Reed and Colin switched. Does anyone have any
I still got
qualms
time.
or things they would like to swap out in here?
Put Terrios in 5th.
I disagree with Colin's take.
I also disagree. I think that there is a good chance that Colin ends up higher than that. He also has trade assets. They're quite literally Colin can secure himself a top tier shooting captain.
I can.
It was
And I'm
floated.
considering it.
It would cause an entire reconstruction, and I don't know if that's still on the table. But like Colin has assets, he can retool. but we shall see. I do think that there is a fair chance that um, Garrett finishes above Reed as well. However, I think based off results, this is fair. Um,
I
just
agree.
just because Garrett losing to Terrio,
And
not the best.
Reed's 2-0.
A little bit outside of his control, but that's all right.
Good fun.
Yeah. All right, we'll go to SPL. I'll start off and put the Ario
You're not
Bros.
allowed to. Not allowed to. It's against the rules.
No,
Can't
I
put
think I
yourself
should
down.
go first since I didn't really get a final pick.
That's cool with me.
I'm looking at standings. I'm looking at rosters. There's no way he keeps up the success. Adam's going in last.
He literally swept me. We
He
played
had the
against
good
each
Diddy
other.
roster.
I
He had
fielded
the good Diddy
I
roster.
fielded a good team, and I got swept. I
That
got
roster is known to get wins. I don't think he's gonna run that exact roster a single other time this season.
I have 0 points.
I don't care.
Colin.
You have Wario and Mario. You're gonna get wins. He has Diddy and Daisy. There's 8 more weeks.
Okay, fine. Adam's probably gonna get relegated, but I don't know if it'll be Otto. Does this go to me next, or does it go to Hamilton? Now that you've already been bamboozled.
I think it would go to you.
Okay. I'll take the low hanging fruit and put spread triple option up there. It will be interesting to see. I do not think that he will be getting Peach a win anytime soon. But I think that his A team is good enough where he'll probably win almost every time because he won pretty much every time last season. So I think that'll be enough. Ham, what you got?
I was honestly gonna say, I'll say that I was gonna debate putting Eric in 1. Only because I think that Danny doesn't win with Peach, and I think Eric sneaks out a couple wins with Luigi. But I will take Eric in 2.
Well, we can talk about that more once we have the full picture out there. Okay, Colin.
I'm putting Jaco easy 3. Yoshi Donkey Kong combo. Got a Hammer Bro, Mr. Monty, Koopa, Toad, and a Birdo. It's a good roster.
Do you think that Jacob beats me this week, Colin?
You have a Mario. I
Jacob
think
has a
it.
Yoshi.
I mean, we're gonna do predictions later. Jacob can run out whatever roster he wants, but minus Toad. You're starting a Mario, no Boo. I think it could go either way. I think Jacob's probably the favorite, but I wouldn't be that surprised if you pull out a win.
Just because I'm sorry, I will not make this podcast all about my feelings. I will shut up. But if I lose this week, then there is no way that I'm not last place. If you just take a deeper look at the schedule. But I agree. Jacob's team is sick. I think he did a great job in the draft, and I think he'll be punching up for top 2 as well. I'm kind of disappointed that he didn't try and fight Danny, because we just saw a Yoshi team beat Bowser, in tier 2. So even though it's against the rules, I don't really have a choice but to essentially place myself. Who else is even in this league?
Fred.
Fred. Freddy's team is good. I mean, like,
Freddy's team is not bad, but the question is, how many times does Waluigi start?
I think it's gonna take a huge dip after. Freddy's not an idiot. Like, what was just put down by Bowser Jr. can't be ignored. Especially contrasted with how Waluigi stunk up the place. Hamilton, would you have ranked 4 and 5 any differently?
I think I would have switched them only on the grounds that I think Waluigi may still continue to start for Freddy. Now, I know Freddy listens to the podcast, so this gets meta very quickly, but he listened to week 1 and still started Waluigi. So I'm curious to see what trots out next week because he does have a choice. You go back to Waluigi and rest Bowser Jr. up, or you can run Bowser Jr. for another week.
Yeah, lots of decisions to make. Does anyone have any swaps that they want to make here?
I'm gonna throw out the Goose Crusade and spread triple option swap again. Um,
I
Eric's,
don't hate it except for the fact that Danny did just beat Eric. And so if he
but
beats Eric again later in the season, he has a massive tiebreaker.
yes, but he's only 4 points up, and Eric only needs to win 2 games to overcome that. And that's 2 games where Danny has to start Peach.
So if Danny just runs um Bowser, Peach, I believe he ends up at 7 games for Bowser and 3 for Peach.
Yeah, that's how it works
That's
out.
how it works. If he breaks that up at any point, then it goes to 6 and 4, I believe.
Yes.
So you think that those 3 Peach games are enough for Eric to catch him? Is essentially what you're saying.
I think there is a very real chance.
Let's see. So Eric has got the. I really. Do we have to talk to Shell about deleting these other tabs, Colin? The um, like
I
home
could get rid of
streaming
him.
podcast. this is
I could get rid of him.
this is just an SPL website. we don't, we don't I don't know what we need, but
I can
anyway,
change the top left button to just go to the SPL, and then you can just ignore this.
yeah. Um, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to find Eric's roster. Eric's B team that he's gonna have to play this week is Waluigi, Hammerbro, Boo, and Birdo.
Luigi, not Waluigi, just to clarify.
Just Luigi. Thank you. Danny is. Yeah, Danny's second team is worse. I personally still think that Danny will finish first. Colin, you can be the tiebreaker.
Um, I think it's gonna be close the whole way. I don't hate either one of them. Um, I think we leave Danny there just on the back if he beat Eric once.
Oh,
And Eric will probably inexplicably lose somewhere along the way. I also think it might be harder. Well, it's gonna be weird. Like sometimes the mid captains, you're gonna get like less games against mid captains because there's just a lot of good captains around, and you can hide the worst ones. So someone like Luigi doesn't necessarily get a chance to prey on the the daisies and the peaches and the diddies.
yeah, fair.
He's gonna have to get wins against Yoshi and you know the other good ones.
Yeah. I think that this could truly go either way, just how I think also too the top two in MLS could go either way. So I think that in both leagues we kind of see like a little bit of kind of like a 3 tier thing, at least in terms of how I view it. I don't know about you guys. Um, but it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, in both tiers, we have someone with 4 points in the relegation zone
Yeah,
or in the last place.
just pretty funny. And then us somehow above that.
Just
Looks great.
with
Yeah.
a
Two
little
people
self pride.
with 0 wins. Deserved. But let's ride that into week 3. Garrett is on the board. Do we know who added that?
No idea.
Nope. Is Garrett here?
I'm
Did you
I'm
just
so
copy pasted
confused.
from last week? I think Garrett or last season. Garrett might have been here week 3 last season.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. That that tracks. Well, we're getting rid of Garrett. Sorry, Garrett. All right, Preds. So going through the MLS games first. Wait, you guys are blue, right?
But we're teal.
Yeah. Um, first game, Dave versus Reed. If this were Reed's A team, I would put a lot of thought into this and think it would go anyway. This is not Reed's A team. I'm going David too.
Oh boy, can we absolute guarantee it, Colin? David too.
David too.
That is an absolute guarantee. I guess I should track absolute.
Congrats, Reed, on your victory.
Yeah. Boy, are we looking good at predictions. I'm very sad that I did not even remotely cross my mind for us to submit Preds.
I'm glad it would have gone poorly.
Yeah, but I don't know if we've missed one yet. Missed a week of Preds. Sad. But yeah, absolute guarantee. Dave and 2 definitely gonna pan out that way.
I'd like to document that in order for Eric to be eligible for Golden Picker, he has to predict correctly or predict half of the total games, not half the games we predicted.
Fair. Yes. Yep, I think that is a fair thing to lobby. So at this point, he has to have 100%. He's getting pretty close. We'll have to have 100% attendance once it gets past week 5 if he's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ham versus Jake, another series where I think if rosters will dictate how I feel about this. If Hamilton was trotting PD out there, I'd feel different.
Hamilton doesn't have PD.
Bowser. I'm doing really well with names. So we got Mario. Yeah, Hamilton wins. I'll go ahead Ham in 2. Short stream so far. Ham, what you got?
In 3. I know what I submitted.
I mean, Jake he's putting Peach out there. It's most likely going to be 2 Birdos and a Koopa or a Shy Guy.
I hear you.
Yep. Colin?
I'm going to go Ham in 2. I don't really care if you throw out, I'm guessing based on what you said, you're probably hiding the dry bones or saving him. But, or maybe, yeah, I don't care. Ham in 2.
Yeah. The only time we have ever seen Peach get a win ever was against Daisy with double dry bones. That is not what's happening this week. But I also know nothing. My brain does not know anything about strikers. Colin versus Garrett. Geez, so many of these series are decided just by stamina.
Garrett in 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll absolutely guarantee this one.
I'm gonna go.
Oh my!
I'm gonna give Colin a game. I think
He
Daisy's
got scared from the Google Sheets suggestion formula.
Google Sheets knows all. Jeez, week 3 is strange. It's really just whoever decided to rest their good captain.
Or has 2 good captains.
Yeah. So Danny's running Peach.
And the way the schedule worked out is no one with like bad captains is like we don't have a Daisy Peach matchup or like that. We don't have it. Princess versus Diddy.
Yeah. I think if you're Fred, do you run Bowser Jr. here to secure the points, or do you play Waluigi to try and save Bowser Jr. for next week? I think that's a very real debate. And
if I'm Freddy, I'm running Waluigi because I'm running Waluigi.
If I'm Freddy, I'm running Waluigi. If I'm me, I might debate it more.
If I'm me, I'm taking points wherever I can get them. So I'm putting Bowser Jr. out there.
Fred in 2.
I'm going Fred in 3. Very exciting picks going on.
Everything's a guarantee.
This is gonna go so well.
We'll see if one of you puts up where backs up your faith in me, but I do not. I'm going Jacob. I think this will actually be a good series. I'll go Jacob in 3. I do not think that I win, but I'll give him 3. Ham.
I'm looking at it for a second. I'm gonna do it. Austin in 3.
I was gonna do it to prevent just us all having the same picks the whole way down. Um. Well, after that, I'm gonna go Jaco in 3.
Wow, you really had a
I was
lot of
gonna do
belief.
Austin. I was gonna do Austin, but you know, I think Jaco wins, but I think you have a very real chance of winning.
55-45 type beat.
Maybe
So,
maybe 65-35.
Adam cannot run the did roster.
No.
He could do did, Hammer Bro, Koopa, but he can't do the dry bones. Eric, Luigi, Hammer Bro, Boo. That team is kind of bad.
Kind of sucks.
But Adam can't run the
Hammer
good team.
Bro, Birdo, Boo might be not terrible.
That's not a team that's going to power up Luigi.
No.
Geez, this is a tough one. If this ends up being a guarantee, then that's cursed because I think this is very much coin flippy. I think
I'll go
Adam's
for
got some magic in him this season, and I don't think he's finishing in 6th. I'm gonna go Adam in 3.
Eric in 2.
I'll go Eric in 3.
All right, I'm glad that I did what I did to defend the guarantee.
So one of us will win this week in picks because we have enough different picks. It's only going to matter for the last 2, but one of us will get 2 right, one of us will get 1 right, and one of us will get none right.
We'll have a chance
Or
to bump our guarantee percentages.
Well, of the last
or
2.
not.
Yeah, I said we have a chance. I did not say that we will.
I think it's a guarantee.
Yeah. I do have a question to pose to the podcast, as well as to anyone still listening to comment. One kind of interesting thing about what we're doing here is we have the potential to actually like pit historical matchups from teams that did not exist in the same season against each other in a way that you cannot in any other sport or esport. You could never take, the 2024 champions and play them against the 1960 champions. And that is quite literally everyone's favorite debate. So, I ask you guys, who do you think would win? Freddy's season 1 championship team or
Danny's team.
Danny's season 2
Ooh,
championship
what's
team?
the map? What's the map situation?
So they get to do a best of 5 map pick and ban. I was trying to think about, we're not doing the season 1 pool with double vanilla. So we'll take out one of the vanillas. We'll keep Sand Tomb in, and then I don't know if you guys have strong opinions on whether or not you think Crystal versus Stormship dictates the series, but I'll let you
Crystal got played a
theorize
lot
that
more.
however you want. So it's Waluigi in 3 dry bones versus Bowser, Hammer Bro, Birdo, and Koopa. So I'm trying to think of a way that you could like blend the map pools from season 1 and season 2, and that's kind of like the best I got. So and I think it's a really, really difficult debate. So the Waluigi team beat PD and Double Dry Bones in Hammer Bro in the grand finals. And Danny's team beat DK, Monty, Boo, and Toad, and just in general played worst competition across the entire year. Does anyone have any strong thoughts off the bat?
I think Freddy runs it.
You think Freddy runs it?
Yeah.
If he runs it, I don't know. If we have 4 different captains winning the first 4 seasons, it'd be fun to do a little mini tournament of champions.
I agree completely, and that's already on my radar. Um, I'm just kind of waiting for this to pull up with more teams to play against each other. But like I said, it's just kind of cool food for thought that we have the opportunity to explore. That unless there are other people who have done simulation esports and have a podcast about it. Maybe they're out there, but maybe they're not, and maybe we're the first people ever to actually be able to definitively say who's the best. And it'd be pretty cool that we could have Freddie captain his team and have Danny captain his. But like Colin said, at some point we'll do something with it in the future. That'll be pretty cool. But for now, it's cool to think about. So it seems like the podcast is pretty definitively on the side of Waluigi, which I think is fair. Makes sense. I think the debate is just how far off of optimal strikers were we in season 1 versus season 2. And if you believe that we have figured better things out and Danny's team is better in season 2, then I think that's fair. Anyone else have any parting points?
I was looking at the stats earlier, and the striker, so the captain, is only outscoring the top midfielder by, I believe, 1 goal so far or sorry, 5 goals so far this season, which I feel like is a really low number.
Yeah. In general,
That's
especially.
not including Mega Strike goals.
That is true. That is a factual asterisk that I did need to put down. Sorry.
And defenders are outscoring bottom midfielders.
And once again, shouts out to Colin because the spreadsheet is getting progressively more and more interesting already. We're starting to get map data. Player stats are getting interesting. There are things that you can look and see there. So get excited. And obviously, the website has cool stuff on there as well. But yeah, no, just lots to be excited about. I think so far as I pull up my files. Oh, y'all can't see that. Cool. So far, Stamina has already changed this game fundamentally enough where it has made it very interesting. And that's only
Yeah.
going to be the case more and more as the season goes on. And even though apparently I'm not good at managing Stamina, I still enjoy the prospect of it. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. We'll see you guys this weekend for the games, possibly next weekend for a podcast. But until then, peace.